Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44. So we're about 15 minutes away from tip-off from Game 2 of the Lakers Nuggets Western Conference Finals. Game 2. And really, to me, this game is about just continuing the momentum for the Los Angeles Lakers. You have established that you are the more dominant team, that they're going to have to deal with us on physically, and that they're going to have to shoot well against us, and they're going to have to try to find ways of dealing with Anthony Davis's length, which I expect the adjustment to bring in Bol to come in very soon. I don't think you can afford to have that kid sitting on your bench and only playing in garbage time when you have this type of length you're going up against. You are outmatched size wise, and he is one of the longest and tallest players in the world. So you definitely, if you're Mike Malone, it would behoove you to play Bol and stop screwing around in that regard. Um, yeah, 'cause sometimes coaches just get so caught up in the fact these guys are rookies, this, that, and the third, and you're looking up there and you're like, what you need is on your bench. Put him in the game. So that's the frustration for me a lot of times with a lot of coaches. It's like, stop this old narrative where rookies aren't supposed to play in big games and you got to rest rookies because their bodies aren't ready. A lot of times they're not. But a guy like Bol, with his skill set, his length, his ability to stretch the floor, you want that on the floor. I would be playing Bol about 30 minutes. Like, he would be in regular rotation for me in this series. So as a Laker fan, I'm glad we haven't seen him as much. But if I'm a Denver fan, I'm screaming he should be the first guy off the damn bench. Um, so that's pretty much what I have to say about that. One thing that I do want to say about the Lakers is you're going to have to continue to hit free throws. I understand down the stretch, these games, a lot of times you focus on the X's and O's defensively and offensively, but for me, it's free throws. We don't want no let ups in these playoffs going forward at the line. LeBron James is going to have to shore that up. We need our role players to shore that up, and Anthony Davis is going to have to be his normal self. He's one of the best free throw shooters in the world, but he's going to have to shoot better than he has in this bubble for us. We want to dominate in that area. So that's something I'm looking forward to, drawing fouls, seeing what we can do at the line. Because I have my concerns about whether or not that's going to be a real difficulty for us in close games. We've missed them down the stretch in the past, and it's just something that's easy to forget about. It's something that it's easily not to think about. But I think in a game like this, game two, it would be great if the coaching staff just encouraged the guys to mind their foul situations. Don't foul unnecessarily, and when you do get fouled, be confident at the line. Get back out and transition as much as possible. You know, we did a great job of that in the first game, and that's going to be something that we can continue to enforce against them. They have some good talent in the open court, but we have the best talent in the world in the open court in LeBron James. A lot more Rondo. That's what I'm hoping to see as well. A lot more Rondo. Rondo's been phenomenal since he's gotten back, and as long as he's continuing to be the second playmaker on the floor for us, LeBron James can continue to do exactly what I just said. Get out in the open court and be the recipient of some passes. And that makes us a nearly unstoppable basketball force. So we can do that, and I think the Nuggets will be overwhelmed. I do expect Mike Malone to come back with some adjustments, but I do expect more of the same from the Nuggets. I expect them to either get off to a fast start and then blow that lead, or we'll get a lead and they'll try to play from behind, and we'll have to be mindful of that. And that's the thing that scares me about this team, but also is something that comforts me in the same breath, because the Lakers are so cognizant and aware of the fact that the Denver Nuggets have had success in coming back from deficits. We understand that it's important to stay focused for 48 minutes. Now, the last game, I believe that Frank Vogel may have taken that a little too far in leaving AD in the game in the fourth quarter down the stretch when we were up by too much. At that point, you definitely want to sit your superstar. But I do believe this is the series where you don't pull your great lineup because of a big lead when you have enough time left in the clock, in the fourth quarter clock. I think this is the series where you leave your guys out there a little longer, but not to the extent that Frank did with AD in game one. I would like to see him kind of, be a little more cautious and less fearful in that regard. I understand what we're going up against, so I respect it, but not at the expense of having AD playing too much and possibly getting himself injured out there. We defeat our purpose completely if we run everybody out of gas in this series and still have a finals to attend to afterwards. So, Frank Vogel's been pressing some of the right buttons, though. I can't lie. I've been very happy with the coaching staff. Even stuff, and I said this in another video, but even stuff that looks kind of unorthodox to me or things that I question usually lead to good things. Now, I don't know how much is being masked by the greatness of the superstars that we have. Maybe some of that you don't get away with if you don't have those players on the team. But at the same time, I don't see any problem in continuing to give Coach more faith to kind of do what it is that he feels is right. Because at the end of the day, we are in a very good spot right now. And a lot of it has to do with him. It really does. Let's see. More good things from Danny Green and KCP, role players, Kyle Kuzma. Just more of the same. I liked what they gave us in the first game in terms of defense as well as offense. I just thought that they were all clicking. They were all on the same page. They all had the right amount of intensity and urgency necessary to play against a team like Denver Nuggets. And I couldn't have been more happy with how we started this series. I just want us to continue to do it and be aware that adjustments are coming, and as those adjustments come, we will have to adjust to them as well. It doesn't mean that anybody's failing at anything if their adjustments happen to work. It just means we need to counter with more adjustments. So I'm not worried if the Lakers happen to drop tonight's game. I think we've established clear out in front that they are going to have to play at absolute peak A1 basketball in order to beat us. And I don't know that we have to do that to beat them. So at this point, it's all about what Jamal Murray and Jokic are able to do in making us change our minds about that, because I have a feeling the team feels the same way. But it's all dependent on the team remaining as focused as they were. If we lose any of that focus, I don't think we're going to be in the best of situations in this series. So that's what it's all about. They are a test of your will to remain focused, because they are going to give up huge leads. And then they are going to come roaring back. And that's just who they are. So you prepare for that wave. And in my mind, if I'm coach, I'm looking at the players like, yo, when we get a 13-point lead, that's like a trigger for us to play harder. At that point, we know in their minds, they're turning it up. So that's when we start to heighten our focus, when we're up. And if you think like that, you'll always destroy a team like this. You'll always destroy them. If you plan for attacks for when you're up big, that's the kind of stuff that I never hear anything about, because you're up big. It seems redundant. But when you're playing against a team like Denver, who comes in the type of waves that they do, it's exactly how you want to play them. You want to have it in your mind that when the score hits a 13-point lead, if we're not pushing it to 20, we failed. If we're not pushing it to 23, we're not doing what we're supposed to do. That's how you handle this series. You play like that, the series is ending in 4. They're not going to win a single game. But it's all about the Laker intensity. That's really what it's about. It's all about the focus in continuing to remain steadfast defensively, continuing to hustle plays, outwork them. They have played a lot more basketball than us in this bubble, so they should be more tired. And, just keeping everybody healthy. That's what it is. And enjoying the show, because LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to carry us. We got two of the best horses that have ever played this game, carrying our stable. So we are rocking. Did I say carrying our stable? You know what I mean. We out here, man. We're rolling, and our team is going hard. So at this point, it's just about 7 more wins. I hope to see this series end early, because I know for a fact the Miami Heat have been resting all playoffs long. Every series has been short for them, just like us. Boston, not so much, and they just made it a series by making it a 2-1 situation there, winning yesterday's game. So if we can kind of take care of business with Denver, we should be very, 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 very much in position to take the championship from whoever's in the Eastern Conference. because our focus after playing against Denver, not dumbing it down. If we knock Denver off in 4, it means we didn't dumb it down. And if we didn't dumb it down for Denver, we damn for sure won't dumb it down for Boston or Miami. Not with LeBron James on the team. He has history with both of those teams, to say the least. So he's going to be wide awake. Anthony Davis, all our guys, it's championship time. I don't expect us to be anything but awake. It's just about making sure your bodies are focused and bodies are healthy and rested. So let's try to do away with Denver as early as possible if we're capable of doing that, which I believe we are. So at this point, go Lakers. I'm pretty excited. Keep an eye on Gary Harris. Keep an eye on Mason Plumlee. The one thing that I wanted to say about Mason Plumlee that I don't think I've mentioned in these playoffs is that he's a passer. It's very easy to look at a guy like Mason Plumlee. He's sort of like Joakim Noah in that regard. You don't really know it at all, but they're kind of one of the better passers on their teams. Joakim was one of the best passers on the Bulls team, but this guy, he turned into a really, really good passer in Denver. I don't know if he was passing like that in Brooklyn and all those days back then when he was jumping and stuff, but lately, since he's been a vet, he's one of the better passing centers in the league, and that's what makes Denver so dangerous. When Jokic sits down, they still have a facilitating center on the floor. So I just want everybody to be mindful of that. That's not something that is ever mentioned at all, but that is something that he's known for and is really good at. So keep an eye on that. That's what I got, everybody. I expect real surge from Jamal Murray tonight, man. Maybe about 50 points from this guy. Wouldn't shock me at all. We have done a good job of guarding him in that first game. I think we've done a good job of guarding most of these guards. When I say that we've struggled with guarding guards, we've schemed very well against those guards. What I think I mean to say is that we've been outmatched in terms of talent. But to say we've struggled, I've mentioned that we've struggled guarding elite guards. I don't believe that at all. I want to clarify that, since I've heard myself say that in these videos. I'm like, nah, that's not what I mean to say. What I mean to say is the more talented guards that we are dealing with are just that, more talented. And because of it, we're outmatched. But to say that we're struggling defending these guys, it's actually been the opposite. We've been doing a very good job against elite guards, and that's why we've been doing away with them. So keep it up, Lakers. And looking forward to seeing us win tonight. And 7 more. That's all. 7 more wins. Be up.